Good morning mga kaborkada! Ito na po kami, ang inyong mga kasama. Nag-share pa tayo ng ating live dahil yan nga, live na po tayo sa Facebook pages ng MO Entertainment Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, Manila at pati sa MO Entertainment channel sa YouTube. Good morning sa ating mga kaborkada! Good morning MJ! Good morning Ateng! Good morning kaborkadas! Woo! Go, go, go!
Alright! Safe for riding today, finally! Ito na yung sinasabi ko, diba? Nilook forward na natin na mag-weekend na mga kamorkada! Kahit nakakalaki yung week natin na to, go lang tayo ng go. Spread pa rin natin ng good vibes dahil kasama niyo ang good time to. Kaya gaya ng ginagawa namin ngayon. Share niyo na kung nanonood man kayo sa Facebook Live natin, sa YouTube, or naririnig niyo kami sa mga online audio streaming platform. Welcome na sa good time to. Napaka-special ng araw na to dahil back-to-back CDO represent mga kamorkada! Siyempre nga naman kahapon, from courtside reporter, ngayon, isang podcaster naman. Isa sa mga leading local podcaster here in Mindanao. At the same time, content creator, social media manager. Nako, alamin natin yung kwento niya behind sa mga ginagawa niya. Later on, kwentuhan with HIM, aka Who is Mikhail? Yun, ang HQ. Who is Mikhail? Ayan, mamaya yan mga kamerkada, naka-standby na siya sa backstage.
Yep.
Kaya, ultimate chikahan this Friday episode na Good Time Talk. Okay naman dyan, Ateng.
Totoo, correct. Leveling ang mga guests natin today. At marami tayong natututunan, lalo na sa mga wannabes dyan, di ba? For sure, marami kayong malalaman tungkol sa kanya, paano din magsimula na bilang isang podcaster. So, naku, nakakatuwa dahil mas makikilala natin siya ng bonggang-bongga in a while. Kaya, tulad nga ng sabi ni MJ, share na mga kamerkada para mas marami tayong makasama today. At syempre, nandyan na rin ang mga suki natin na palagian. Syempre, share ng ating video. Si Chara Grace, kumusta? Si Ruby Descalzota na binalita sa akin na nag-reply daw yung guest natin today sa kanya.
Wow!
Nag-watch talaga.
Yeah.
Diba?
Uy, eto rin. Go ahead,
go.
MJ.
Oh.
Ayan, nanonood yan si Marion de la
Eto na,
Cruz.
yes, ayan.
Yan. In Lubao, Pampanga. Dyan sa may Lubao National High School.
Mga Kapampangan, hello.
Yes. Mario de la Cruz, maraming salamat. Yan, minention ni MJ nanonood sa ating M Entertainment YouTube channel. Live na po tayo dyan, pati sa ating Facebook. Kaya keep on putting your comments more, Cara, dahil mamaya babasahin rin natin yan sa programa, of course, with Mikhail, dahil makakausap siya ni MJ at ni Ateng dito sa ating programa. Kayo ba, na-try nyo mag-podcast before, Ateng at MJ?
Uy, parang hindi, pero 'di ba tayo naman sa radyo, hindi nakikita pero daldal ng daldal. Parang same through din 'di ba sa podcasting na more on audio lang talaga. Pero wala naman natin later on paano hindi sila nauubusan ng sinasabi. Pero ikaw MJ, nasubukan mo na ba?
Yeah, grabe.
Yeah.
Time. Yung lost school, grabe ang bonggan.
Okay. Ano to, before law school or
Before
during
law school. Before law
okay.
school, may podcast kaming tinatawag na MOR Celebrity DJ. So parang ini-interview ko yung mga local din natin na mga personalities here in the city. At talagang pumunta sa station, ginagawa namin ng content at ina-upload namin via the streaming platform Spotify. So ganun siya. At minsan may mga personal din ako uploads. Pero yun nga, for me, hindi siya nag-work ngayon kasi super busy ko. Kaya alamin natin mamaya kung paano ba yung ginagawa ni Mikhail na panindigan niya all the way, diba?
Sa tingin mo ba, MJ, ngayon kaya mo panindigan na may nag-aaral ka? Kaya mo panindigan
na ako mag-graduate, guys. Uy, pero speaking of graduate at mga panindigan, congratulations sa mga nakapasa po sa 2022-2023 Physician's Licensure Examination! Congratulations! Doctors!
Yes, sa lahat ng licensure exams na naganap kasi nilabas na this week ang results. Congrats guys sa ating mga mga new medtechs, mga vets, and all sa lahat sa ating mga
mechanical engineer.
Yes! Correct.
Congrats po.
Congrats.
Parang yung bar results na lang yung hinihintay. Next month na yan.
Abangan niyo yan, guys!
Sana naman after Holy Week para may time pa makapray. May time pa makapray.
Sige. Abangan natin yan sa ating mga kamarkada kung kailan lalabas yan. But in the meantime, enjoy natin ating show with, of course, Mikhail. Live na po dito sa Good Time to. Kaya eto kami mula Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Na ibang gabigat ka na kaya amin kamarkada. Mula po dito sa Baguio, ito po si Bombastic. At dito rin sa Luzon, kasama natin ang mga kausap later si Mikhail with MJ. Na dyan si Ateng Jerry.
Hello mga kamarkada! Masantot siya kabosa na si namin. Ang puta-putang, napakainit dito sa baba. Ayan, at perfect day para sa inyong laundry. Para ang weekend, di ba, mas masaya with Fambam. Anyway, si Ateng Jerry B, ready na for GTT. At syempre, si MJ naman dyan sa may Mindanao.
Yes! Akala ko perfect yung blazer mo sa putang-putang.
Ay, di ba? Ginilaw.
Ayun, sa akin na yan. Parang bagay yan sa akin. Wow! Yung harbor na, pati yung earrings.
Yan tayo eh.
Ayan, huy! Singit ko lang, Arlene Afabla dyan sa may Antipolo City at sa ating Rowena Good morning dyan. O syempre, sa tanang Bisayang dako nga nananaw karon all over the world, maayong buntag, maupay, madayaw, bibo karon ang Davao dahil nga sinaselebrate nila ang araw ng Dabawenyo. So happy celebration dia. And shout out to DJ Kokoy! Happy watching!
Yes!
Hello!
Siyempre sa mga nagpapang-abang na po sa opening sa Kaabulan Festival next week na po yan. Sa mga higala nato diya sa may Bukidnon o mga kasigbit nga lugar, magkita-kita diya po diha mga kamarkada. O siyempre, kininayin yung kauban, live na live here sa Cagayan de RC din yung guwapa nga Omega, baby nyo for life, MJ. At eto na, pag-usapan na natin the life of a podcaster, social media manager, and content creator with HU's Mikhail dito sa Good Time Talk.
Here he is!
Let's go! Alright! Eto na mga kabisayaan! Mga Higala CDO represent. Eto na ang ating sinasabing podcaster, social media manager, at content creator, Mikhail! HIMHU is Mikhail.
Morning, Mikhail.
Good morning. Magandang umaga sa inyo, lahat mga kamorkadas dyan. First and foremost, salamat po. Huge thanks. Nagpapasalamat ako sa MOR, especially kay MJ at sa'yo din, Miss Jerry, for having me. It's such an honor to speak on behalf of the podcast scene dito sa Cagayan de City, or better yet sa Mindanao, or better yet sa podcast scene ng Philippines, to be on the show sa MOR. Such an honor. Salamat. Thank you.
Wow. Grabe, naiyak naman kami doon. We must mag-thank you kami dahil you said yes to this. And syempre, alam naman may super busy ka at dami mong ginagawa. And you wake up today kasama ang good time to. Naging good ba ang morning? Kamusta naman ang gising dyan, Mikhail?
Maayos naman. I admit hindi ako morning person of late kasi nagpupuyat. Madalas ako nagpupuyat. You know, I edit a lot of things, like a lot of content. I'm so content heavy right now. It takes up the bulk of my time editing content forever. So having to wake up this early for you guys, yes, I'll do it.
Wow!
Nangyayari
naman. Oo.
Kape muna. Let's have some coffee.
Uy, ang cute ng coffee niya.
Oo nga. Parang halos lahat, merchandise. Pero sige, let's talk about that more later on. But for now, gusto muna natin pag-usapan your background on the so many stuff that you do. Diba? Sabi mo nga kanina, you're editing most of the time, napupuyat ka with that. So, from podcaster to content creator and social media manager, kwentuhan mo kami.
Well, that's so funny na mention nyo na social media manager, no? You know what? salamat. Nadagdagan yung affiliation, yung credential ko. But come to think of it, almost everybody these days is a social media manager. You have to present your way in such a fashion that in social media, because it's probably everybody sees you in social. You're very public, so kailangan mo, you have to bring your best self in front of people. Yeah, thank you for that. But a bit of backstory. I've been a journeyman. Journeyman ako my whole life. The soonest nag-graduate ako sa college, I'm a teacher by profession. Guro po ako. I taught at the private school. Yes. So kids are my passion. That's why para akong pabata at pabata habang tumatanda ako. Yeah, it's funny. I'm surrounded with kids all day. I like the energy of children. And I was a teacher by profession, but in the span of 10 years since 2010, journeyman ako. Was bouncing from one job to the next. I also lived a life na naghahabol ako ng bigger pay. Alam mo yun, gotta get yung
Gotta get the money, the cash.
You gotta get the goods para masustento yung buhay mo, yung family, tsaka yung mga needs mo. So I also lived that life. Naging OFW din ako. I lived that life. I went to the UAE. Naging hotelier ako doon. And then probably the most relevant profession na ginagawa ko ngayon, I also became a behavioral therapist. So I analyze and manage behavior. So medyo clinical siya. I'm not a doctor, but I actually work closely with specialists. So we work around behavior. And then nag-pandemic, tas doon ko na-discover ulit na my passion for art. And I also love editing. Back in 2015, naging uso yung mga vlogging. May cellphone ako, wala akong ibang libangan sa Dubai, UAE. Nag-consume ako ng maraming YouTube at vloggers. So doon nagkataon na ako din, gusto ko rin subukang mag-edit. So yun na, alam ko namang may konting creativity ako. Hindi ako expert, hindi naman ako videographer or cinematographer dyan. Pero, you do what you can with what you're given with sa mobile device mo. I thought I was good at it. Ako yung biggest supporter ko. I thought I was good. I was showing my videos to my then girlfriend, now my wife. My videos was about her. And then yun, nagbunga yung mga creativity ko sa videos. Although they were not really polished back then. Pero it helped a whole lot sa ginagawa ko ngayon, which is I understand editing. Yung basic lang, just to catch up with the trends, just to present who you are representing in a nice fashion. And then, I think I know how to speak. Hindi naman siguro ako i-invite niyo sa MR. I don't know how to present myself. So, ayun. Kaya nag-umpisa ako ng podcast sa 2020 just to cope with mentally sa umpisa. And then nalaman ko marami palang suporta. So, syempre, naging flattered ako. A lot of support. Kaya, I just ran away with it. And then, now 2023, I'm back in the Philippines. I brought this baby home, and then it's so fun to get the support and love from your local scene. Kaya yun yung backstory.
Wow. Super interesting. Ang daming napagdaanan mo, Mikhail.
Correct.
Actually, ngayon ko lang, kahit magkakilala na kami ni Mikhail before mga kamorkada, ngayon ko pa lang yan nalaman. So that's why really, really interesting pala. And now we can say na with your contents, ang dami mong mahuhugot from your experience.
Yeah.
You have so much to talk about with your experiences. Pero bago muna yan, saan mo naman na-discover in naming yourself as Huge Upside, as HU? Yon.
Sa totoo lang, I thought it was a cool term. Madalas mo i-encounter yung huge upside na yan sa mga pelikula or even in the stock market. Yung something na isang bagay na nag-hold ng potential. Kasi sa totoo naman, lahat naman tayo, may potential tayo lahat, di ba? Kahit saan ka galing. Like, from any walks of life, we all have that potential and we all have a starting point. Kaya, naisip ko magandang pamagat to. So, yun. Kaya doon nakukuha ko. At tas hence yung name ko, Who is Mikhail, parang sinakyan ko na din. So, HU. Tas, I just started this, so I'm so thankful and blessed na in-invite nyo ako. This is parang yung welcoming party sa personal brand ko din. Like, Who is Mikhail? It's time to come out in public. And I know the work that goes into this, and yung framework ng pag-iisip ko, yung infrastructure, na-hone ko na. So, by doing huge upside, parang naging confident ako lalo na gagawin tong personal pursuits ko as me. I need to personally brand myself. Total, ginagawa ko naman through dito. So, why not I tell my story as well? Maybe I inspire people.
HIM, diba? The rebrand, HIM.
Yes.
I am him. Yeah.
It is so nice and very catchy. Yes, at the same time, your name, Who is Mikhail? Because people will always, of course, ask, sino ba yung Mikhail? Who is Mikhail? And what is this huge upside podcast all about, right? But for sure, mga kamarkada natin would like to know the technicalities first, di ba? Paano ka ba pwedeng maging podcaster? Do you just, talk about things? Do you just think of a title, kung ano yung magiging segment or program mo, and then yung technicality mahirap paano ka directly pupunta doon sa podcasting world? Paano mo ginawa, Mikhail?
Well, first, you have to be a consumer kasi yun yung naging pathway ko. For some, like such as yourselves, you're professionals in radio broadcasting, paano kayo napunta dyan? At some point, siguro you were a fan of radio, you listen to a lot of FM, napakinggan nyo yung paboritong DJs nyo or broadcasters. I, on the other hand, also did the same. Alam mo yun sa buhay, hindi ko nahanap yung actually, may mga mentors tayo sa buhay, pero yung mga gusto kong mentor, hindi ko abot Wala naman si Chinkitan dito sa Cagayan de Oro City. Wala naman si Bugoy na Koy-Koy dito sa Cagayan de Oro City. May mga idolo din tayo dito. I reached out to them, but I'm hungry and I need more inspiration. So I had mentors in my ear. I had to look them in Spotify. So that's the good thing about technology is if you actually can't find someone to intern for or to have a mentor, punta ka lang sa Spotify, andito na lahat, libre pa. And they're offering it for free. I just listen to a lot of mentors here, and my so-called mentors, they don't know me, but ako kilala ko sila kasi napakinggan ko yung story nila. And actually, that's how I started. I actually just started as a consumer, and I fell in love with the genre of podcast, and like, this is so fun. Kasi isa din akong auditory learner. I'm not really big on books. I read books, pero I like auditory so much. I listen to a lot of radio back in the day. Audiobooks too. Parang podcast na din yun Akalain mo yung aklat matatapos mo. MJ would know, she's a law student. She reads a lot of books. yung law book na yan. Di ba? Yung law book na yan, nauubos mo yan, MJ, siguro isang linggo. Kung gustuin mo lang. Di ba? First reading mo, isang linggo. Pero yung audiobook, natatapos mo yan 3 hours, 5 hours lang. Just straight listening to audiobook. Nagmamaneho ka, you're on a long drive, you can listen to that, or you're stuck in traffic, you can just blast it full volume. Well, with a podcast, it's the same thing, and it's on demand. Mapakinggan nyo siya kahit anong oras, you just download it. So, yun, nag-umpisa ako, I fell in love with the genre. When you start, it depends. It goes back to anong gusto mong mangyari sa buhay mo. Like, what do you want to talk about? Do you have a business? You can talk about your business. Are you an expert at something? Talk about what you're good at. Like, or are you just a platform? Like, I'm gonna plug some people if that's okay. Like, Good Times with Mo. He just accepts callers. Tumatanggap siya ng mga callers, diba? And then callers just put out their story. Ganun. So it depends what you. Exactly, the feedback. But what do you want to talk about? For me, I just wanted to talk about people who wanted support. Not really that they need it, but we actually thought that, why don't we support them? Diba? So we think that they're same like what you guys are doing to me right now. Like, MR trying to support me. Like, sino naman ako? I'm just nobody in Cagayan de Oro City. But you have...
You are HIM.
I am him. Pero,
yeah.
diba,
I
Pa-humble
think it's
effect.
just
Pero,
bringing it, you use your platform in bringing, diba, the locals para mas
true.
makilala. Ayan, and we love the idea na, diba, ano yung mga interesting things about you that you want to talk about, or and na kaya mong pag-usapan, diba? So, I think, itong mga kamorkada natin, silang Ea, silang Rowena, at Charo, kayang-kaya nilang pag-usapan yung mga baby boys.
True.
Or kung paano
Oh,
diba,
yeah.
yung mga ayan sila sa comment section. Comment lang kayo dyan, guys, kung ano yung mga, kung magpo-podcast kayo, ano yung mga kaya niyong pag-usapan. At syempre, kung, diba, ate, ano yung mga interesting things. Kasi nga, in podcast, may limitation ba yan, Mikhail? Like, diba,
It
we've,
has.
we've seen na parang mag 30 minutes to 20 minutes. Paano ba yan, how do you go about it if mag-a-upload ka ng isang episode?
Well, I mean, going back to what you said, like limitations, wala. I said it has, but actually wala. Kasi it's up to you. Like, you just want to like talk stuff all day, you can go for 8 hours. We actually done 8 hour podcast
What?
recording with one guest. We couldn't upload. Hindi namin magawa na i-upload yung whole episode kasi 8 hours. So, chinap-chap namin. Ginawa namin 3 parts. Kasi maganda din yung story. May value yung kwento ng tao.
Okay.
It depends. Like, depends with, you have to know your target market. And especially these days, there's this thing called short-term attention span. There's this fast food, may fast food tayo sa content consuming. So, you have now stories, Facebook and Instagram, even in TikTok has stories. You have short form content, you have reels. Paano makapag-compete ang podcast dyan? Yung podcast, kailangan mong pakinggan to get the whole gist of the things na may context ka. You have to listen to the whole thing. So, may ibang podcasters na ginagawa na nila yung content nila, like 5 minutes, may podcast na 1 minute, may podcast na less than 1 minute, maybe 40 seconds. It's up to you. But for me, it depends. My style is like, I like to engage with people, like what you guys are doing. I think this is a 1 hour segment, So, depends. Like, if you want the audience to get a glimpse of what it's like for the stories that you're trying to say or trying to tell, you need a whole hour just to know the context. And then it depends like how you want to chop it up. Yeah.
Yeah, but at least we get to know na ganun pala yung mga mga styles, yung strategies.
From the din siguro yung starter pack, 'di ba, kung paano be a fan first, syempre sa mga bago pa sa podcasting, and they are like parang hindi rin maubusan ng sasabihin, laging nag-iisip, and talagang maraming content na maiisip. Pero ikaw, as you do your talks and may script ka ba? Yung mga ginagawa mo is ano lang ba ito? Anong tawag dito? Yung ganun lang ba anong tawag doon? Yung spontaneous ka lang ba that this is your topic for the day, and then pag nagawa mo na ang everything and then you edited it, 'di ba? Ikaw lang ang gumagawa, ikaw lang gumagawa nito, or do you have a team na someone who will render, someone who will write? Ano 'yon? Paano, how it works na ready na mapakinggan na yung podcast?
Miss Jerry, I've been waiting for this question all my life kasi mananawagan na ako sa mga kamorkadas dyan or kahit sinong nakikinig. I need people. I need team members dito. To tell you the truth, I'm a product of DIY, so just do it yourself. So again, like I became a consumer, I fell in love with this, and you gotta do things yourself. I believed in myself first, so I have to know the ropes. Again, like 2015, I had an idea of how to edit because I edited videos. Like, it's basically editing audio is much easier. You just need to have, like, I use Audacity until today. Like, Audacity's been around, that software's been around for like decades now.
College pa ko na.
Diba?
Buhay pa pala si Audacity. Oh my gosh.
Buhay na buhay. It does the job. It does the trick. So, yeah, I mean,
It's a
I wish I had like
for HIM.
it's a one-man show, and I wish there was a camera crew around me all day because I love content. Like, you know how vloggers do it, diba? Ganito lang. But it's so nice na may sumusunod sa'yo at nagbi-video sa'yo. And then you can just be creative with the content you want. But ako lang gumagawa lahat nito. And then how I distribute it is I make content. So ito, I'm so blessed and thankful. Maybe this, if MOR will allow me, I'm gonna chop this up and I'm gonna spread it across my social media. You know, I'm gonna make content out of this. Like Miss Jerry asking me that question, this exact moment, I'm gonna clip this. I do a lot of repurposing, and that's how I get my message across.
Yeah, we love that repurposing, no? Kasi I think that's the thing now, 'di ba? Na parang parang i-reinvent mo yung what it is now, and you will put a touch of yourself of it. 'Di ba? Parang my gosh, lumalabas na yung mga creativity ng mga people, and maganda 'yon. It's nice na with us or with you, Mikhail, na-enhance yun, 'di ba? And of course, let's talk about your contents naman this time. You are really a supporter of locals. You really love locals. Yung branding mo, focusing on locals. Why did you choose that kind of field sa mga contents mo? Why locals?
Why not? I mean, we have grown, lumaki tayo. I grew up in the 90s and UI2K. I grew up becoming a consumer of the West. You know, like we're taught to be consumers at a young age. Lahat from down to the shoes, down to the clothes, down to the cap, down to what we eat, to what we use for pagsisipilyo, down to this. I wish my local na headphones such as this, but you know, like I wish there would come a day, but why not? I think that would be like a big step forward if we just be more passionate about your neighbor. You know, don't you want your neighbor to succeed and win? Diba? It's such a nice thing for you to wish for your neighbor to win. This thing about crab mentality, it needs to stop. And you know, I cheer for my contemporaries too, like my fellow podcasters. We have a community. It's called Bisaya Podcast PH. I love those guys to death. Like, sino pa naman yung ano? It's there's a community to be, diba? And it's
Sino pa naman?
alone. Yeah, alone you can do so much, but together you can do more. That's why we need to support the local
Yes,
scene.
there are lots to talk about talaga when it comes to, of course, our neighbor, di ba? Or yung sariling atin lokal. Pero what is, yung super close sa heart mo na you love talking about? Na people from Luzon and the other countries should know about the place or the people or the food like that, or lahat na you talk about those.
Well, yeah, I mean, all of that ties into us being human, diba? I love to talk about human behavior. That ties in back to my experience as a, behavior technician or behavioral therapist. Like, I love human behavior, and it's in day-to-day na araw-araw natin na ginagawa. It's all behavior. Everything we speak and think and do is a behavior. So it comes to food, to where you go, to who you support to, and the message you want to bring across the world. I've had like sa ginagawa ko hindi lang local. I'm so flattered that there are folks overseas who try to reach out to me. Hindi naman sa nakakaintindi ng Bisaya o kahit Tagalog, but why do they come to me? So it's because they know the context of who I am. It's not just the local, but us as humans. We want to be heard, one, kasi may 4 functions of behavior tayo. We want to escape things, kaya nanonood tayo ng Netflix, pupunta tayo sa salon, nagpapamanicure. We want to escape things. That's our escapism, diba? Manonood tayo. And second is, diba, guilty pleasures. At pangalawa is, we want things. May gusto tayong mga bagay. Tangible stuff. Diba? Tangible stuff. Pangatlo is, we want attention. We want to be heard. We want to be heard. We want to be validated. These are actually natural human traits. Why do we demonize being validated? It's actually a human trait. Diba? And then lastly, it's yung mga needs natin, yung mga self-actualization needs natin, yung mga self-reinforcing na bagay, like taking a shower or brushing teeth or eating
The
food. Yun,
necessities.
and then the necessities. So, ganun na mga bagay, those are the things I talk about. And it just so happens na it it goes across the board to food, na-observe natin ang behavior, to music that we consume, na-observe natin yung behavior, sa mga pelikula na pinapanood natin, na-observe natin, may mga behaviors tayo doon. And even the way we communicate with people, may mga behaviors tayo. At sa mga isip natin, when the people are away, we think about them. Those are things that, stuff that I want to talk about that you don't get to regularly talk about in public or in media, or even post about it on Twitter kasi nakakatakot, pwede kang ma-cancel doon. But on my show or on any podcast lang, you can do that. You can have a civil discourse. That's why, this thing
Maganda yun,
works.
that you get to open up with these things and people get to listen at diba, at the same time, may makukuha silang lessons just like what we're doing now, diba? At ang dami natin nakukuhang lessons from
It's
Mikhail.
getting deep. Ang ganda.
Diba?
Ang dami natin
Ganun
natutunan.
yun. Ganun yun na it's more than just what you think it is, mga kamorkada. Pero right now, ayan na sila. I think mga kamorkadas natin is excited for our challenge for Mikhail. Eto
Okay.
na,
Oh my
dito na
goodness.
tayo sa ating Love Local Challenge. Ayan. So,
Alright.
ang gagawin lang natin dito, Mikhail, may mga ibibigay kami categories at you just have to mention yung mga, yung favorite mo na local with that category. Alright?
Okay.
Easy lang to, kakabahan dyan. Okay, so let us start with our first category. Ayan. Who is your favorite or your love local singer?
This is so hard.
Sige, top 3.
I am torn because I love them all. Pero may mga preference din ako. Oh my God.
Go.
Of course, I have to go with the local town hero from Cagayan de City, Arthur Neri. Let's go.
Hey, Arthur Neri. Okay.
And there's a couple of bands I wanna put out there. There's this band Swell, and there's another band called Walkman. I love those guys.
Wow. Arthur Neri, Swell, and Walkman. Wow. The favorite local singer ni HIM. Ayan. Para ba sa'yo, ano yung mga, do you see an edge of a local singer among other singers? Ano yung nakakaiba na nakikita mo from the locals na minention mo? Yung mga favorite local singers na minention mo?
Aside sa poverty porn, because you always want the local town hero to win, who started from nothing and then rises from the top, diba? Like, why would we demonize poverty porn? I mean, it's the way we think, it's the way we behave. We like rags to riches story. But there's something about the local scene, like that makes you more passionate about them because you see them every day. Doon din nag-umpisa yung Beatles eh. We worship the Beatles. We worship Kanye West, or we worship these other artists, where in fact, you have them in your local scene. Nandito lang sila sa locality natin, and they also had the same beginnings.
So bakit pa
Gumapang
tayo
din sila
lalayo?
lahat.
Oo.
It's so
Here na
obvious
tayo.
they're here. Diba?
At ito yung maganda kasi nagbubunga, 'di ba, yung fruit of labor na tinatawag na. Syempre hindi dahil local, dito lang. Kasi ang napakaganda doon, mas makikilala siya ng mas makararami. So the impact, and the influence is napaka-powerful talaga. But maganda kung magi-start talaga sa tahanan, 'di ba? And yun yung nakaka-proud. 'Di ba? Kasi Arthur Neri, mga songs niya yan, known na. Syempre, mga bands na tinukoy mo kanina are kilalang-kilala na dyan. And syempre, hopefully, mas makilala pa ng marami. And napakaganda nung attempt doon. Doon pa lang, winner na, 'di ba?
Yes, pero yun nga, yung hina-highlight talaga natin, yung support, 'di ba?
Yes.
Yung support
Yes.
natin, bakit pa tayo lalayo? Eh, andiyan na sa inyo gano'n, 'di
Mm-mm.
ba?
Yeah.
Ayan na, sige. So, let's try naman the second category.
Second category,
Anong
your
love,
favorite
love, love local niya?
local
Oh!
actor. Yes.
Nako, tignan natin kung anong mga movies yung mga pinapanood
I,
ni HM.
I, I am guilty kasi hindi ako malaking consumer ng films ng Philippines. In that department, medyo lacking ako. I need to explore more of the local films natin. But if there was one actress I could name in Cagayan de City, not only is she an actress, she also directed her own film. She also had her own screenplay up in UP. And she's here in Cagayan de City. Her name is Ella Figura. Shout out, girl. Yeah. So she's this very talented artist, can sing. She has some songs in Spotify. She can also dance. I mean, they're all here, diba? And I'm pretty sure where Miss Jerry is at, she also finds them there. They're available. I mean, they're there. You just need to do some digging. So shout out Ella Figura. It's my favorite local artist.
Ella Figura, diba? Uy, malay mo, baka siya na yung makakasama natin sa susunod dito sa Good Time to.
Oh, goody.
Diba?
So,
Kaya natin yan, HIM?
yeah, we can. Let's have her.
We can. All right. So, yan. So, let's see sa ating last category kung ano yung eto.
Yes.
I know you have so much to mention with this one.
Oh my God. So tough.
Pinaka-favorite ko. May mga nakwento ka a while ago, Chinkitan, siya ba yung pinaka-favorite or mayroon pang mas favorite?
No, to be honest, I don't mean to be rude, but I just mentioned his name just, to be more contextual because if I mention some local podcasters dito or local influences dito sa Cagayan de City, the Kamorkadas might not get or understand who they are. But if there was a local podcast, but shout out to Chinkitan though, like he's the GOAT dito sa Philippines. But well, if there was a local podcaster in my hometown, it would defeat the purpose if I choose myself. I want to shout out to this podcast, Yossi Break Podcast. So I like him because he stays true to himself, kung sino siya. And I think that's important, like we are subject to stereotypes and societal norms, and there's just some things we can't talk about in public. I adore him. This podcaster, Pat Palam, shout out, HP, is also a beat producer, and a hip hop artist, and he has his own podcast, Yossi Break. I like him. He's my favorite local podcaster because he just stays true to himself and he does what he does.
Yan. I think ngayon pa lang hahanapin na yan sila ng mga kamorkadas natin.
I hope so.
Napaka-big element talaga nun sa podcasting. And syempre sa lahat naman ng content, being true to yourself para mas marami kang, parang mas marami.
Wow! So thank you so much sa pagiging true then with this challenge. Mikhail, nalampasan natin yung mga love locals at least may mga ideas na rin tayo kung sino yung mga ipo-follow natin in the future kung magpo-podcast tayo, diba? At eto na nga, ano yung mga aspirations mo? Nakikita namin yung drive mo, in supporting local and ipakita sa kanila yung local scene here in the city. Ano yung mga aspirations and dream mo for the community?
I want nothing more for the people to win. Yun lang. Kayo first. Like I've always been a big believer in that. Kaya I always understood why would I put people in front of me, and then I later on realized that it's so much fun to see people win. There's something about the energy when they win. It gives me more energy. It gives me more drive and passion. Like supporting folks and then seeing their journey from point A to point B. It's really heartwarming. Like, I want people to win.
Kasi
Napaka-humbling.
sa totoo lang, totoo 'yon, contagious talaga yung feeling na nananalo yung iba kasi it feels like nanalo ka na din. And it is an inspiration for you to win not all your battles but kahit papaano may mga naipapanalo ka. Parang ang ganda sa pakiramdam, 'di ba? Ang gandang
Sarap.
influence sa iba. Now, you are very humble, sabi nga ni MJ. And we are so proud of you. Kahit ako, taga Luzon, nasa Mindanao ka, we're so proud na may mga ganyan tao like you. And syempre, kung napakasarap sa pakiramdam na malaman ang panalo ng iba, ikaw, how about you, your craft? What do you look forward for, especially this 2023 na syempre gusto rin naming maramdaman yung panalo mo, 'di ba? What do you look forward more?
HI.
To be healthy. Just one, to be healthy. I wish for this year the health of my family, the health of everyone. Yung malapit sa akin is, I admit, hindi naman ako, I'm not superhuman. I can't shut emotions. Like, I feel emotions. Through that, I'm passionate. I have more passion through my emotions. But just one thing, sana maging healthy pa tayo, and the longevity of my career this 2023, sana maka six pack ako ulit, or I get big
Wow!
so that I become healthy. No, I mean,
Yes.
I'm serious about that, because health is probably needs to be a bigger conversation. Sometimes we back in 2020 yung nangyari yung pandemic, nakalimutan natin yun eh. And naging normal lang ulit. We forgot about our health. We started eating again, sugar, extra rice. The food boom,
Ouch!
the food scene is so
Yes.
alive. Really, it's so
Ayun.
alive. But
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I don't mean to throw stones at anyone, but health needs to be bigger. I'm also guilty of that. Like, I sleep late. I'm a hypocrite. Like, like, I need to also be a good practitioner of that. But I just wish, kaya nga, I wish to be healthier this year so that I can prolong this career and support people more.
Oh yes, it's a reminder for everybody, no, to be healthy. Tama ka dyan. Yan ang first and foremost talaga na kailangan natin pagtuunan ng pansin. Yeah, I
Correct.
believe.
Ayan. So, I think lahat din tayo is wishing for the win of HIM, Mikhail. Kaya naman, para mga kamarkada natin ma-follow ka at syempre mapakinggan yung mga discussions niyo on podcast and where you are right now sa social media page, go, invite mo na sila. And of course, don't forget your shout-outs.
Go!
Yay! Yung favorite part ko, for folks who are watching and listening to this, sana naman if you give time to this, follow nyo ako sa mga social media handles ko. Madali lang sa TikTok at who.is.mikhail. Sa IG naman is the same thing at who.is.mikhail. Meron din ako sa Facebook at who.is.mikhail. Or just type in there, who is Mikhail. I also have a podcast. It's called Huge Upside. It's on Spotify. We also have pages in social media. Just type in there, Huge Upside Podcast. And it's hard to miss kasi it's this. It looks like this. Ito yung logo namin. All right. And we're gonna drop some clothing soon. Baka gusto nyong kumuha. Mind you might enjoy. You might want to wear it. But first and foremost, also, I just want to give a shout out sa mga community members. One, I have them in my phone. Mahabang-habang lista to, so please bear with me. Somebody messaged me. I think she's a follower. She's a kamorkada. Ruby Descalsota, shout out. I appreciate your support. And that's why you're a kamorkada, because you love supporting these kinds of eksena. Thank you very much. Shout out Yossi Break, Unique Diner, CNC Music Press. We have a podcast called Sam Talks, RGB, Mindanao Daily News Network. Thank you for the opportunity. Boondock Brothers, CGY Players, God Bless Gossip. Check out my drip. Cagayan Skateboarding Organization. Wayok Creatives. Let's go. Hiatus Coffee. Halabitaw. Imaginary at the Forest, The Cave, Sumami Street Hub, Let Me Sell on You, Oro Broadcast Media, Bake Shop Studios, Bisaya Podcast PH, my friends, EY for Life, my family, my beautiful wife, the man above. Shout out sa inyo.
Woohoo! Yan, grabe. Napaka-humbling to have you here, Mikhail. And balik ka ulit kung ano mga pasabog mo with your podcast. At syempre, excited kami makakasama pa more ang mga kasama mo dyan natin dito sa local community natin, diba? Because sabi mo nga, why not? Alright, ang ganda ng Friday natin, mga kamorkada. Thank you so much. Once again, HIM, who is Mikhail here on Good Time Talk.
Thank you so much, Mikhail.
Thank you for having me. Salamat po. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mikhail Mikhail sa ating programa. Ayan, HU is Mikhail Morcada. Follow him sa kanyang podcast sa ating mga kamorkada. In fairness, no, alam mo, habang kinakausap niyo siya, doon mo ma-appreciate talaga yung love ni Mikhail for supporting local stuff, di ba? Parang sa mga local, mga merch para sa ating mga kamorkadas. Kasi syempre, di ba? Maraming salamat. Ayan. Nakahinga na malalim si Mikhail. Sheesh! That was fire. Sabi niya dito. Thank you so much, Mikhail. Thank you so much for joining us. Yan, maraming salamat. Ano yun, MJ?
Ano yung sheesh?
Sheesh! Ganyan yun, di ba?
Grabe. Pero napakadaming napagdaanan pala ni Mikhail. And dun natin nare-realize na that's why he has a lot of things to talk about. And interesting, makaka-relate tayo. At yung mga kamorkada natin, di ba, Bong, nakaka-relate din.
Totoo. Ayan, nagko-comment pa kami ni Ate kay Mikhail kasi ayun, nagko-comment siya sa ating private chat. Pero totoo, MJ, yes. Marami nakaka-relate sa ating mga kamorkada, di ba? Sabi nga, eto yung, di ba, yung may sinabi si Mikhail kanina, yung we are all parang naghahanap tayo ng something to verify us. Di ba? Parang may ganyang sinabi kanina. Validate. There we go. The validate is the word. Yun nga, di ba? Minsan naghahanap tayo ng ganyan. Kaya naman sa ating mga kamorkada, yan, sobra salamat rin sa Mikhail and enlightening our kamorkadas. Malay nyo, isa dito sa ating mga kamorkadas, next time, magkakaroon na rin ng podcast. Di ba?
Sabi
ka na, Ate Merita.
May time na. Kahit busy sa school, magpa-podcast na yan si MJ.
Sino kaya yan busy sa school na magpa-podcast?
Ayan. At eto rin kay Arlene na family. Thank you so much na nanunood sa ating MR Entertainment YouTube channel. Malay mo, MJ pwede naman ang magiging guest mo lahat ng mga judge na instructors mo.
Mas nag-guest naman to sila, oh.
Oo, di ba?
Nakakatuwa si Mikhail kasi hindi lang siya parang nagiging consumer, nagiging fan ng isang tao dahil sa iisa lang na nagagawa niya or talent meron siya, kundi yung pansin mo, yung mga nilulook up niya are talagang hindi man gaano pang kilala sa buong mundo. Pero ang daming nagagawang change. Maliit hanggang sa malaki, di ba? Kaya kailangan natin Mikhail to uplift the spirit talaga ng mga talented individuals na ito.
Kumbaga, support one another. Diba? Kasi hindi ka naman magiging successful kung hindi mo isusupport rin yung mga kasama mo, diba? So parang, in fairness din kay Mikhail sa pinakita niya, kaya sa ating mga kamorkada, huwag tayong crabs. Ayan, huwag tayong talangka.
And let's be happy of seeing another happy.
That's right.
Winning, diba? Ang ganda no, that's so touching.
Oo, mag-start tayo doon.
For someone that is winning.
Oo, diba? Yung wag nating ikainggit, kundi ikainggit siguro natin in a positive way that my time will come soon. And
correct. Each at our own time.
Be our inspiration. Diba?
Yun ang isipin niyo, Morkada. Yeah. Ayan na tayo.
Teka, Bong, tulad nito si MJ, we are so proud of her kasi ang dami-dami pa ng mga kamarkada na dapat malaman. She's talented, you know, guys.
Nabigla si MJ.
I'm
Ay!
Thank you, ate. Hindi, salamat naman. Grabe.
Pero once again, syempre, sa lahat rin po ng mga nakasama namin
Correct,
this
sa
week,
lahat.
thank you so much, guys. Maraming salamat. Grabe, para sa ating mga kamorkadas. From Monday pa lang, di ba? We got, yan, sa ating mga kamorkada, di ba? From dito sa programa natin, nakasama natin sina Alwina, sina Kian Marco, sina Songdong In, Jason D, Ashley, of course, si Mikhail. Maraming salamat. Next week, marami pa kayong kailangan abangan dito sa ating programa. Marami pa tayong mga kasama, mga influencers, artists, na kailangan abangan dito sa Good Time to. Na dyan, sina Hannah Balahadia, sina Tony at KL na kasama natin before, na nag-dream chasers na, naging dream chasers sila, mga kasama din dito. And marami pa. Dyan, si Aaron Rebustes will be back, Cedric Escobar, and a whole lot more. Kaya naman hanggang sa susunod na linggo, sama-sama na ito ng saya sa umaga dahil kuwela to.
Dahil, kita nyo naman, always sa dito.
Yeah.
Parang may, meteor.
Oo. Nawala yung audio.
Wala ang all. At syempre, para sa'yo to, at bida ka dito.
Lagi good time to!
Good time to! See you next week!
Happy weekend, guys!
Happy weekend!
Bye! Enjoy!
Oras na mga Morgada para basahin pa yung mga humahabol niyong reaksyon. Hinggil dito sa kwento natin.
And still playing off our favorite songs in Beautiful Morning. At sa lahat ating mga madlang people, daming salamat for always staying tuned dito sa MOR.
And to all those who are listening and aral pa sa ilang trabahuan, pati pagyapon sa work. Good evening po.
Okay, sorry mga Morgada. Magandang umaga mga nakikinig sa atin.
Ay, labas na ang lahat ng feels! Dahil #GoodTimeFeels tayo!